In a cozy village surrounded by a magical forest, there lived a curious little girl named Ella. Ella had a special love for birds. She adored them more than anything else. She kept a notebook where she drew pictures of every bird she saw: bluebirds, robins, hawks, and even tiny hummingbirds. But there was one bird she had always dreamed of finding: the golden feathered kingfisher. Her grandpa Joe had told her stories about this rare bird. The golden feathered kingfisher only shows itself to those with kind hearts and curious minds, he would say with a wink. It's said to live by the whispering waterfall deep in the forest. Ella's eyes would grow wide with excitement. "Do you think I could find it, Grandpa?" she'd ask. "If anyone can, it's you, little bird watcher," Grandpa Joe would smile, encouraging her. One bright morning, Ella decided she was ready for an adventure. She packed her little backpack with her notebook, crackers, water, and her lucky blue jay feather from last summer. "I'm going to find the golden feathered kingfisher today," she told her cat Whiskers, who lazily stretched in response. "Be careful, Ella," her mother called out from the kitchen window as Ella skipped down the forest path. The forest was alive with the sounds of birds singing, squirrels chattering, and leaves rustling in the breeze. Ella listened to the melodies of the birds. "Chirp, chirp, tweet, tweet," went the sparrows. "Hello, little sparrows. Have you seen the golden feathered kingfisher?" "Not today, Ella," they chirped as they flitted away. Deeper into the forest, Ella spotted a red cardinal perched on a branch. "Hello, cardinal. Have you seen the golden feathered kingfisher?" she asked. The cardinal tilted his head. "He's very secretive, but if you follow the sound of the bubbling stream, you might just find him." And with a flash of red feathers, he flew away. Ella's heart raced with excitement. She followed the sound of the stream until it widened into a peaceful pond. A family of ducks swam by, quacking happily. "Hello, ducks. Have you seen the golden feathered kingfisher?" she called. "He's quick and clever, but not too far," quacked Mama Duck. "Look where the sunlight makes the water glow." Ella looked and saw the sunlight sparkling on the water like gold. A smile spread across her face. She was getting closer. As Ella continued her journey, the forest grew denser, and magic seemed to fill the air. She noticed mushrooms growing on logs, heard tiny footsteps in the underbrush, and smelled the fresh scent of pine needles. She felt like she was surrounded by something enchanted. Eventually, she reached the whispering waterfall. It wasn't loud and crashing like some waterfalls. Instead, it was gentle, like a soft rain pouring over smooth rocks. Mist hung in the air, making everything feel cool and refreshing. Ella sat on a large stone, munching on her crackers. "If I were a golden-feathered kingfisher, I'd definitely live here," she mused. Suddenly, she spotted something, a small flash of gold out of the corner of her eye. Her heart skipped a beat. Was it the sunlight? No, it moved. Ella froze in place, barely daring to breathe. "Could it be?" she whispered. Then from behind the leaves emerged the most beautiful bird Ella had ever seen. Its feathers shimmered like golden sunlight, and its eyes sparkled like stars. It had a long, graceful beak and delicate feet that gently stepped on the rocks. "The golden-feathered kingfisher!" Ella gasped, pulling out her notebook. Her hands trembled with excitement as she quickly sketched the bird. The kingfisher tilted its head curiously at her, then, to Ella's surprise, it flew over and landed softly on the stone beside her. It let out a soft, melodic "cree-cree." "Hello, beautiful bird," Ella said softly, her voice as gentle as the waterfall's whisper. "I've been looking for you all day. You're even more wonderful than I imagined." The bird puffed up its chest, almost as if to say, "I know." Then, as a gift, it dropped a shiny golden feather into Ella's lap. Ella's eyes grew wide. "For me?" she asked, her voice filled with wonder. The kingfisher nodded before flying off, its golden feathers glowing like fireflies in the fading light. Ella held the feather close to her heart, knowing she'd never forget this moment. As she made her way home, she greeted every bird she saw: sparrows, cardinals, and blue jays, all while humming a happy tune. But the adventure wasn't over yet. On her way back, she met an owl perched on a low branch. "Hello, Mr. Owl," Ella said. "You're up early today." "Indeed," hooted the owl, blinking his amber eyes. "I've heard about your golden feather. Quite the find, young one. It's a sign of something special." "A sign of what?" Ella asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. "A sign that you are now a friend of the birds," the owl replied with a wise nod. From now on, they will watch over you whenever you're in the forest." Ella's heart swelled with happiness. "Thank you, Mr. Owl. I'll always be kind to the birds." When Ella returned home, Grandpa Joe was waiting on the porch. "Did you find anything interesting today, little bird watcher?" he asked with a grin. Ella smiled and proudly showed him the golden feather. Grandpa's eyes widened in amazement. "Well, I'll be," he said with a chuckle. "The Golden Feathered Kingfisher chose you. You must have the kindest heart and the most curious mind in the whole forest." Ella beamed with pride. That night, as she lay in bed, she held the golden feather close to her heart. As she drifted off to sleep, she dreamed of more adventures with birds of every color, blue, red, green, and gold. And in her dreams, the golden feathered kingfisher always flew beside her.